Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
All right, so what are some of the things that first come to your mind when you think of Africa? Go, don't think about it, just shoot. Quick.
Really smart, man. Give a great presentation.
Sure. Keep going. Come on. Okay, but stop now. I've created a monster. But this is really interesting and holds a special place in my heart. This is NASA's picture of the night sky, and so you have North America and you guys here. You have everybody in this room rather. You have South America here. You have Europe, Asia. That stuff. And then you have Africa here, shameless plug for the Twitter handle, and you have where I'm from, just that image right there. But if you look at this, and if this was the only thing you were to judge the entire continent of over 1.1 billion people by, then it's the dark continent for more reasons than one. And that was echoed by the front cover of The Economist from, must have been about 2001, if I'm not wrong. And that was summed up with this, right? So Africa, like you said, you just shot from the hip, and so have a lot of other people over the past 30 years. And the narratives about Africa and really what the world has had to say, certainly what you could describe as the Western world, depends on which side of the coin you're looking at it from. But this is one of the covers that had a descriptor, at least one person's perspective about this entire continent and the future of it. And so, all is not lost. I'm from Africa. I got here just today. And I haven't slept in I don't know how. But basically, Africa's stereotypes tend to fall into two broad categories. One is crisis-ridden Africa, and this is that starving child, that man with a gun, that evil warlord dictator. You saw the movie, and everything in between, right? So this is that crisis that needs to be presented to you in a very jarring and gripping way that you need to act on in some way. And this is what forms a lot of the news. And then, like you rightly said, the Discovery Channel, hey, we can forget that. So you have the beautiful, untouched, pristine beaches, you have the zebra, you have Madagascar, you have everything that forms the beauty and majesty of Africa's untouched lands. And then you have one thing, don't know where it really falls, but it's somewhere between those two, and that's the little children of Africa. And that little child right there happens to be none other than me. So there's a little backstory, and I may have pointed it out a little bit. I don't know if you can kill the lights. It's a little. Anyway, there's proof of this somewhere on the internet. So I'll let those keen enough. I'll set them on their way with this little story. So George Lucas, great man, visionary filmmaker, genius in many respects. Now he's famous for the likes of. All right, yeah. You're missing one.
Indiana Jones.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So Indiana Jones, besides being an amazing franchise of films starring Harrison Ford and a number of other people, had a television series. How many people remember the Chronicles of Young Indiana Jones? All right, okay. Got some loyalists in the house. I think people followed it down. Maybe he had a toy, I don't know. And a hat. I'm sure somebody had a hat. I would ask you to raise your hands. So amongst these almost 10 odd seasons of the television series, there was one particular season where Africa came to mind, and specifically within that one season, they decided to go to Kenya, of all places, for the week. And when they decided to go to Kenya, my dad, bless him, decided to take me, young little child actor to be, to the casting session, and I landed the role of what is on the script, the Ubangi boy. So this one was like the little bloodshot little child star of the episode, and I'll set the scene for you. So it's pre-colonial African times, and young Indiana's in the middle of the African bush, and he's whacking his way through with a big group of people by his side, and it's the British colonial times, and so they're just working their way through the heart of the jungle. And they come across this village, all right, and something strikes them as odd about this village. It's not any commotion, it's very, very still. And then they kind of get this eerie feeling that something's happened. And so they can't find any of the people because supposedly they died from a mysterious disease. And from that little hazy mist emerges that guy. And so there's this big dilemma. Indiana's like, like the kid is going to come with us, and everybody else is like, no, what if he's got this evil disease? He's going to get lost. And he's like, he knows the way. And in the end, I get to ride along. And so this particular shot's important because that, for those of you who follow particularly French or Francophone cinema, that's Isaac de Bancolé. He's an incredible French actor, also acted in Hollywood films as well. But yeah, so there we were kind of making our way through the jungle, and later on the episode, yes, there's this very tense scene, and Indiana has to kind of break the news to me that, okay, dude, I've fought the good fight, but we're gonna have to kind of find a way to get you somewhere else. And so the camera pulls in, and it's raining, the two of us are in a tent, and Indy's looking in my eyes, I'm looking in Indy's eyes, he's looking in my eyes, and kind of like, something's got to give, and I'm just giving him the cute, puppy dog eyes, and he's just looking, I've got to tell the kid. And so, you can cut the tension with the knife, and the camera's pulling in closer and closer. I have no lines in this entire episode. And I look at him, and I look at him, and I say to him in Swahili, I need to go wee-wee. And truth be told, that is in the final cut until today. If you look for it, you'll find it. From what I understand, they were like, oh, that's amazing, the kids are, it's a genius, that's a great ad-lib. And so, kind of summing it up, I went from being handed a loincloth and no lines at all in George Lucas's production about the Africa that I was supposed to portray, to almost 2 decades later, the world premiere of my first short film in Durban, which is pretty much one of, you could say, Africa's Cannes, the Durban International Film Festival. I directed a short film called Dawa, and I happened to meet Isaac de Bancolé 20 years later. Didn't know who I was, but it was a very emotional moment. I was like, it's me, the guy that's on the wheelie. So, takes me back to this, and this is, some of you may recognize this. This is Facebook's map that came out in 2010 by Paul Butler, an internet Facebook at the time, and it shows every single connection on the social network. And yeah, so basically Africa is not the dark continent, it all has to do with mobile. I'm not alone, the continent's rising for all number of things, and if I can leave you with one thing, that I don't know how it came to me, but it did. The continent's full of young people with stories way more awesome than mine. If they were here to tell it, they would. And this is what you should think of the next time you see or think of Africa. So.